Welcome back to Marion's World, everyone. This time I'm on the second page in my bird book. Actually, it's not going to be a bird, and I'll just cut you straight into it because I think this is going to be a really nice, interesting one. What I've decided to do for page 2 is really it's going to go beside the Blackbird page. And what I really would like to do is a blackbird's nest, because I love their little blue eggs, the little bits of speckles on. And I did have this bit of quilting cotton left over from a previous project. I have drawn around the finished page size, and I've already stitched the running stitch around the edge, so I know what page I've got to work on. And it's got nice there's trees on already, so that's going to be the lovely background of a tree. I've got some brown old sheeting that I'm going to make branches with, or maybe I'm going to use the rib of the bottom of a jumper, maybe. I've got the last leftover bits of cotton from my bedroom curtains. Actually linen from the bedroom curtains. I thought they would make good leaves. I've got a bit of dyed velvet to make leaves. I've got some cotton that can make leaves, and a bit of wool skirt. So that's going to make the branches and the leaves of the tree. This is a leftover bit of the silk that I used for the dragon. And actually it's got really nice bluey green already on it. So I'm not going to even overpaint that at the moment. I'm going to see if that'll make the lovely blue eggs in the nest. And the reason I decided on this page particularly was because in my thread jar, which is what I keep all my ends of threads in all the time, I've actually got this brown threads. I've got all sorts really. I should just empty it out. This whole piece of stuff here, and it just sort of, I kept thinking, oh, it's like a bird's nest, and I thought, oh yes, it really is like a bird's nest. So I think these bits of threads that are actually off the binding of the quilt that I've just finished, when I ripped the binding into strips, these were the bits of threads that came off. So I'm going to be using that, and also this pink raffia. I think it was off a bunch of flowers a few years ago that somebody sent me that had this raffia wrapped around it, and I just don't throw stuff away. I think I can paint that with some acrylic paint and make it look more of a straw colour, and again that is going to make a lovely nest for the blue eggs to sit in. That's the general idea anyway. So let's see what I start off with doing. I'm trying to get my composition going at the moment. I've decided that I am going to use the jumper rib for the tree, and so I've just cut some pieces off the rib of the jumper. So I feel as if that comes onto there first, what I've done is I've cut an oval shape out, just that'll stand in for the base of the nest, so I can see what size things are going to be. And I've got various strips of the rib that I'm going to applique on. So I feel as if my nest's going to be in the crook of a tree, like that, maybe. And then the branches coming off, can do that. And then various leaves and what have you. I feel as if the nest might be bigger than that, but it just gives me an idea. I think I'm quite happy with that as a composition. Might need some more little branches. I can put them on as the leaves go on as well though, or there might be branches coming up from the bottom even. Anyway, I'm going to start and couch them down. I've got this lovely soft brown embroidery thread. I've put in a big eye needle, but it has got quite a sharp point on it. And I think I'm just going to, well, I think I might pin it first, just to give, so I know that it's going to be where it is. I'm going to pin that one and pin these two because they're the most important ones. And then I can just let them stay off for the moment. And I don't think I need to be particularly making any particular stitch. I'm just going to straight stitch it on because aiming for trunk like thing, so I'm just going to, some of the stitches are going to go off the rib onto the back fabric, and some are going to stay on the rib. But what I usually try and do is just catch whatever I'm appliquing down at first, and then as the embroidery or the piece of stitching progresses, you can always add more, and you can add it however you like. So I'm just going with the flow of how I think a branch is going to look. I could end up with some green on here to look like moss, but at the minute I'll just start and get it going. I do like this brown wool embroidery. It's not thread. I think it is wool. It's got a bit of a sheen on. What's nice is there's a bit of variegation coming there, which is actually really nice. Just going to carry on stitching till there's nothing left in this needle, and then I'll put another length in to do the branches. Sometimes I just don't know till I start where I'm going with something, but by starting, your brain starts to work it out. Well, that's what my brain does anyway. I don't know about anybody else's brain. If I had to plan this, I wouldn't have known where I was going to go with it. But as soon as I start, I can see exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to thicken that bit up at the bottom, just with a split stitch there. Got a bit of a big eye to be coming through this background, but it's working. That's my first piece of trunk, actually looking okay. So I'm going to get some more pieces on there, and then I'll be on the way. I'm just showing you that I am being as economical with this yarn, or this, as I can, because this is literally all I've got left of it, that and the piece I'm working on. And so I've had it years. I've had a lot of things in my embroidery box that have never got used until this last year when I've been doing more of this type of thing. So I don't know where I've got it from. I don't particularly want to go and buy some more because I've got lots of different things and I'm actually just trying to use it up. So to be economical with this, I'm doing split stitch and I'm making the branches, because if I use split stitch, I can take quite a big stitch on the front where everything's going to be seen, but then quite a tiny stitch on the back and up through that thread again. And what that means is that every single piece of my precious thread is actually going to be seen instead of it being wasted on the back. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to just make one more stitch there. And you can see that I've got some branches and things going. And what I'd quite like to do is go to this one, but I don't want to waste a great big piece behind. So I'm going to come up about here. And I'm going to plan it so that this branch is going to go there. I'm going to come down towards it. And just get the maximum use out of the piece of embroidery yarn that I have. And I think into there, which means that that branch is then caught onto the fabric too. And I can go up here. Again, it's just a small stitch on the background. I'll show you at the end that I really am being... Everything I've got is on the front. That's nice. So you can see there's not much on the back, but I've got plenty on the front. And I feel as if I always think about being careful, because I know everything's out there for you to buy, and I'm just as guilty as anyone else of just wanting all the new things and all the beautiful colours. If I go to the stitching show at Harrogate, which is like one of the main big places that there's like a yarn and fibre and fabric show, I see all the colour and I just would like the whole lot. And that's going to go in my thread jar. And that'll come back and make the nest probably. But in the end, I do have a lot because people gave me things over the years. Every time I had a birthday or a Christmas, you know, I would get more embroidery thread or more yarn to knit with. All those things that I wouldn't necessarily have bought for myself. So now I'm really enjoying using it up. So that's my last piece of that. I just have an empty, I don't know where I put it now. There. I just have an empty card now. So I'm going to do the bit up there so that at least if I do change to another yarn, another thread, my page is going to look balanced. Well, that's it. I'm out of thread. Well, that one anyway. Well, I'm quite pleased with that. It's looking nice already. It's really helped by this background fabric. It's such a good green and such good texture. You can see I haven't used much on the back. Just get the threads off. There's not much on the back. It was just my needle falling onto the floor. So now I'm going to start with some leaves. I'll just put my nesty shape back on again so I can see what's happening. But I feel as if I will just cut some generic shape leaves. I need them to be largish, I think. Maybe not that large. I'm just going to cut some out of this lovely fabric. Like that. I'll cut some out of the velvet. It's nice to have a good mixture. I always like to feel that I'm making texture. I don't mind if the edges of the velvet fray. It doesn't bother me particularly. And so you can see what I'm heading for. Let's try some out of... Oh, I love this. What I'm going to do when this skirt's no longer there, I have no idea. It's just so good. It's such a wonderful green. I'm going to try and make the leaves a little bit of a different shape sometimes. Oh, that's lovely. I love it. I'll make some narrower ones and some smaller ones. Well, I'm going to carry on cutting some out and I'll come back when I've got them arranged. Well, I've cut plenty leaves out and I feel as if I've got a good composition going. This is sort of the size of the nest. I feel as if the nest's going to be bigger than that, so I may spread the leaves out a little bit more. I want to definitely be able to see the little blue eggs. So I haven't used this green cotton in the end, but what I have done is cut a few leaves out of the background fabric as well, because I think they look lovely. They sort of bring the background into the front by layering them on top. So I'm actually going to just stitch all these down. And I am going to use, what am I going to use? I think I'm going to use this variegated again that I used on the Blackbird page itself. Yes, I'm going to get some of this lovely variegated, and I'm just going to pull a bit out of the middle actually, and snip snip. And I think I can get away with not having such a big needle. I need one with a decent point. I'll try that one. This time I'm not going to bother pinning everything. I need it to, you know, be quite free and loose. But I am going to pretend that the nest is a little bigger than that. I think it's going to be. I'm going to even leave the knot on the top because I know the nest's going to cover it. And I'm just going to start and stitch these down. And originally, sort of for the beginning, I'm just going to do a straight stitch down their spine because I need to get them on. I'm managing to get all these leaves stitched on. I'm just doing them with a bit of running stitch, but they're looking nice. I'll just carry on putting them on. I've decided instead of doing the running stitch and back up like I did before, I'm taking the tiniest little underneath stitches, and then it means I don't have to go back up to the top, and I just work out where the next leaf needs to be and start from the other way and put it on. So I'll go from the point of this one to the point of that one, and I'll lie my leaf on. They don't even have to come from the branches because I'm trying to get depth here, so they can come across the branches at the same time. So I'm just going to lie a straight stitch in, come back up just about 1 millimetre away, and another straight stitch, another millimetre, and then another straight stitch right up to the top. And then I look for where the next leaf is going to be. Put a velvet one on. Put a velvet one there. So I'm just going to go straight to the bottom of that one. And again, I'm straight stitching down the central vein of all the leaves. And then I can decide later if I want to do more. Millimetre gap, and up again, and a millimetre gap. And that's good. This one's getting very close to the edge of the page. So I'm just going to snip it back and alter the shape so that it's just, and make sure that it is within my page dimensions. This is even a bit of the seam off the rib. It's quite 3D, that, because it's the knitted in seam. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go straight to there. Put a little one in. Have I got a little one? Yes. Put it that way. I'll just have to knot that one off, I think. Well, I feel I want to finish it there for today. I feel I've got a really good start on the next page. It's not going to take as much work as the Blackbird, I don't think, but you never know. But I've definitely got the shape of the tree. I know that I'm going to be doing a nest in there somewhere. I think it might be bigger than that, but I'm not sure at the moment. But I feel as if I'll be using the jumper, the raffia and the threads to make it. And then this piece of leftover polyester silk that seems as if it might be just the right colour. So, till next time, this is how I'm leaving it. Well, I feel as if I've got a really good start on the next page. It really was helped by that leftover piece of quilting fabric that I had. Just enough to do that page and maybe one other. That's all I've got left of it. But it's definitely helped the feel of being inside a tree with all those leaves on and everything. And how good does the jumper cuff look as the branches? I think that's really worked well too. I'm going to leave it there and just say thank you for your comments. Thank you for all your encouragement onwards. And if you are liking what you see, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel to carry on seeing more of what's going on. And with that, I'm just going to say bye from Marion's World. Thank you for watching and thank you for encouraging me onward. See you later. Bye bye.